I'm pushing start.
No, I already pushed start.
We're in the start going.
All right, let's get this started.
Everybody wants to press start on a Monday. Who knew? One
Yes,
more.
sir. There it is. I see us on the YouTube.
There we go. Oh, I can take
Let
a
me know
breath.
when you get the Facebook. Wait, it's not the anymore, is it?
Is the Facebook?
No, it's no longer the Facebook. It has been. There we go. I got pinged. We're on Facebook.
Good morning, everybody. It's me, San Martin, and Eric Knight. How you doing, my friend?
I am doing well, but I am cold. But we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah. Tell everybody what the day it is. Hopefully, it has to do with hot cocoa or something.
Maybe it's a good one though. I didn't realize that today was ready for it.
What is it? What is it?
National Pumpkin Day.
Oh shoot! See
I
that?
thought that was for some reason I thought that was Halloween, but today is National Pumpkin Day.
Why would you think it's on Halloween? They had to harvest the.
Well, I guess so. That's the National Anti-Pumpkin Day then, huh?
Yeah, the day that you actually.
National Kill a Pumpkin Day.
Yeah, unless you have what do you call those things that like to come and eat them and destroy them every morning? Javelinas love that every morning. It's like out of control. So, anyways, man, how was your weekend? Let's talk about the weekend and let's kind of get everybody up to par of what's happening today and what possibly is going to happen throughout the rest of the week. And I mean, we're getting to some serious times in our lives. So let's go ahead and tell everybody what you did this weekend after your long weekend.
It wasn't a long, yeah, long weekend, right? Actually, yesterday was a scramble. Like we saw that storm. First of all, you and I were talking with Annie on Thursday about the forecast showing snow. And
Yes.
so we were like, whoa, we're going to get snow on Monday. And I think that's changed. But I mean, it's still cold. Like I was in a massive scramble winterizing everything yesterday, swamp coolers and hoses and getting plants out of the ground. Like it was just a complete covering animal cages. I mean, it was a complete chaos day getting ready for this really cold weather.
Yeah, and you know what? It actually is here. It's subjected to go ahead and actually do some sort of raining early morning, late afternoon, and it's going to happen. It's literally it's
So
sometimes happen
it's not
today.
even above freezing yet. I just looked up at my thermometer and it's 31 out.
Yeah, which was I woke up early this morning. It was 29 degrees at my spot, and that's downtown Prescott, Arizona. Good morning, beast mode.
So I mean that means it gets even cooler. In the like Chino and Prescott Valley because there's nothing to protect it down there.
Yeah. And that was a crazy thing. I ended up doing the scrambling yesterday as well. The trash cans were supposed to come out, but I was like, oh man, this wind is so bad that I didn't want to wake up in the morning and have to be chasing trash around in the AM.
You
At
get
two.
that wind too.
Yeah, the wind was insane last night. It was out of control. I mean, no matter what, we knew it was coming. It started showing up like earlier on yesterday. We were out there in Prescott Valley doing the food box distributing, and the wind started picking up, but it wasn't too cold for us to be like, oh my gosh, it's cold. It was still like 74, 75 degrees with a breeze. So not expecting that it was supposed to drop down to 29 degrees today. Expected, I mean, it's weird. Arizona has
All
some
right,
great weather.
I'm sharing it out. Keep talking, but look at that. Is it sharing yet? Nope.
It's
There it
almost there.
is.
Off there, right
Keep
there.
talking. Look at
So,
that. We're under a freeze warning. So if you've got plants, today is the day to go. Well, it's probably too late.
yeah.
Yesterday was the day to get it out.
Well, we're still expecting that tonight as well. So, if you have a chance to save it, like we brought in all our succulents tonight or last night, we basically brought in, like you said earlier, that you were scrambling, doing all your things, and that's exactly what I was doing. At the same time, making sure that nothing was going to freeze over. So, yeah, guys, just take care of yourself. I mean, as you can see, it's just going to go back. It's going to go up just a little bit and then drop right back down. The high today is going to be only 46. I'm wearing
Yeah.
I'm wearing shorts for this freeze warning event.
I
but I
felt so weird yesterday. My pants all were packed still, and I was running around in a sweatshirt and shorts. I was like, this feels really weird.
it happens, man. But it's called balance, Eric. It's called balance. I mean, that's exactly what it's all about. And you know what? The cool thing about it is that it's supposed to only be here for a couple of days, and then it goes
Yeah.
back up.
Look at that. Thursday, we're back to 70.
But then we're looking at some partly cloudy and rain next week as well. That one is right there is not showing it, but the weather bug, if you guys have it, is actually showing rain next week as well.
Crazy stuff. I don't remember. Well, it doesn't mean anything, but I don't remember it being like pre Halloween this cold in a long time.
Oh, you know what? Halloween every year is cold. There's no doubt about it. As soon as that sun starts setting in Prescott, Arizona, or Prescott Valley, it just starts getting colder. Everybody's starting to notice it. We're supposed to have the White Spar vendors market tonight,
That's
and
what's gonna. Is that gonna happen tonight?
girls were like, it might be too cold, so we're gonna resume it back next weekend, acknowledging that it's supposed to be a little bit warmer. So if you guys are
Yeah.
out want to join, this is a vendors market. There's no fee whatsoever. So get the word out, get the people to know, and let's create something that has never been created. And quite honestly, it's like your second like job. And then it's an opportunity to go ahead and work with other like-minded entrepreneurs. So Eric, I had a pretty, relaxed, I hung out a little bit, but one of the biggest subjects right now that's coming, to Prescott, Arizona, is food distribution, and it's, not many people know where this food is coming from, but it was from President Trump's executive order back in the days. Or well, when we first started, he initiated this, and it was being distributed throughout the state of Arizona. I mean, everybody had their opportunity, but one of the things is that nobody really was acknowledging, where this was coming from, why we're doing it, et cetera, et cetera. But Real Hope Inc. is how I got connected with it. They were getting linked in with the National Guard of Arizona, or the National Guard in general, and they needed people to distribute this food, and so that's how Real Hope Inc. was doing it. And plus, they have that store out there called Maya's, and Maya's out there in Prescott Valley, where was their warehouse to go ahead and store this food to distribute to thousands of family members, or even I mean, yeah, thousands of community members that are either in need or they're actually helping out, their neighbors, which was happening yesterday. We went out there to Living Faith, and people came in and they drove off with 50 or 40 boxes in their trucks, and obviously they say we are going to a location and we're distributing this food in this location where there's elderly that haven't been out of their house or don't want to go out of their house, probably lacking some food, based off of them not wanting to ask anybody for help or whatever. So this is a great opportunity to literally wake up and get to know your neighbors or call your family members and seeing if they're all right, if they need anything. And everybody that picked up a box on Saturday morning, on Sunday, my thing that I said, hey, go take some to your neighbors. They're like, what? They looked at me like I was all weird and stuff. But I was like, here, man, have a couple more boxes, take them to your neighbors and see if they're okay. And they're like, all right, okay. And so, anyways, what's ended up happening, Eric, that they keep on coming back, and they come back with wanting more boxes because what the word is getting out and is helping out our community. So
How long is this supposed to go for? I mean, that's the first question because you said it's part of the stimulus plan, right?
Well, this is the crazy part, Eric, is that remember how the food chain got disrupted, and people were the farms and the stores, the restaurants were not buying stuff, people were not taking stuff, and so the farmers would have to destroy their stuff or just basically just give it away. And so that was the biggest issue right there. So I don't think this will ever end. The reason why is because the farmers need to get their food distributed. Don't get me wrong; I know that they need to get paid for it, but they're already growing it, and so therefore they need to get rid of it. And I think that it's probably going to slow down just a tad bit.
Well, and they're saying San Martin there's going to be some shortages maybe again during the fall here and during the winter.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping that this still keeps going for those people that are running into that.
yeah,
If they start handing out toilet paper, we know it's in trouble, right?
yeah. We've been talking about that, and in regards to people saying that there might be a shortage. Obviously, after the election, it looks like it's not going to be a nice time. I mean, no matter what, it just seems like there's going to be civil unrest, and I'm not trying to be a sad guy about this, but it just seems like you know what's happening is like nobody's going to be happy with what the elections turn out. So it's going to be a little bit disruptive. But then again, who knows, man? God has the will. So if he wants to go ahead and make some things happen, then so be it. Let's make
Well,
things.
so let's keep talking about that because you also went to Saturday's event where they were giving away all the boxes at the mall. How did
Yes,
that go?
that went very, very well. There was thousands of boxes there, and by the time I left, there were still two pallets, which two pallets equal close to 50 boxes each pallet, and they had two pallets left over, but they distributed all the rest of them. I think there was 10 pallets, 11 pallets, or something like that were already gone. So that was huge. But they're only doing one more time, and it's this coming Saturday. So that's going to be at the same location, same spot. If you guys are willing or needing some of this stuff, go out there and help out, and also get some for your neighbors. Start talking to your neighbors and ask them if they're in need. Start talking to family members, ask them if they're in need. And even if they're not in need, that we just need to get this food out, because if not, it's just going to go to waste. I mean, we don't want nothing to go to waste, and that's kind of how this food chain is actually been accounted for, is that we don't want no waste. And I don't know, do you remember the conversations or the videos that were coming from, I think, TikTok actually, were farmers, and they were showing how this was hurting their farm, because people weren't taking the food, because they weren't getting distributed to the restaurants, because they're all closed. And this is a nationwide thing, man. It's not just a Arizona thing. So
Well, at its core, San Martin, we give our, I know the politicians are deadlocked right now on the stimulus continuation, but I don't think when they passed the CARES Act, anybody ever talked about saving the farmers and getting people food. Like, I have to say, out of all the stuff that they've done, that's a pretty cool. I mean, I can't believe it's taken 6 months to, kind of work out. But I still think it's pretty cool that they've helped the farmers, move their crops because they weren't moving, and they've helped a lot of people get food. I mean, I think that was a really good use of that money. And I'm not a huge fan of them doing, loans against our children, but I think it's a really good use of the CARES Act money for sure.
exactly. And each box has a note from the president. And I was going to bring that here so I could go ahead and read it for you guys. But basically, it states that this is something that the government initiated, because this is exactly what was needed for the farmers. So the farmers, I'm sure, got a kickback from this, so they could go ahead and distribute this food to the masses. And once again, it's distributing to the masses. And I mean, bringing up that we, I put some things out there on Facebook, and if anybody's questioning about what's happening with Maya's store out there, just from what's already been exposed, is that they're having issues with the code enforcement, and the code enforcement is like attacking them from some reason. So we're thinking that there's some things that are happening within the people, but we don't want Maya's to go away. The reason why is because they are distributing a lot of food for the communities. And if you guys are on any of the groups out there or any of the chats out there, you guys are noticing how big of impact they are impacting this communities, all communities at that, and several family members. And I'm not talking about just a couple, they're servicing thousands, and people are coming out and saying, hey, don't touch these guys. Like, what's the problem? What can we do to solve this before you guys make these guys leave? And the elders over there at Maya's is it that their mom and dad, they run that. They're older. I mean, they still have a lot of life in them to go ahead and do work, but they're saying to themselves, like, we don't want to be harassed. Like, why are we being harassed for doing quote unquote God's work? And so I asked the same questions, and I obviously want to get more involved in community affairs. But once again, if you bite the hand that feeds you, quote unquote, it really honestly does hurt. So we want to get to the bottom of this. Hopefully the mayor of Prescott Valley steps up and says something, or even investigates this issue more than what has been meets
We
the
don't need more. Yeah, we don't need more regulation right now. I mean, these businesses are hurting enough. Let's kind of ease off a little bit right now. That'd be my message to the mayor.
Yep, let's go ahead and make it happen. So, anyways, let me go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit about what is happening in the news. We ended up putting out a bunch of stories this morning, so you have to go to the prescotttimes.com to go ahead and check it out, or go ahead and follow our pages because I shared them on our social media platforms. But the biggest one right now is that the schools today, Chino Valley starts with the 4 day a week in person. All yeah. Now they're going to school in Chino Valley, so we're going to watch that closely to make sure that it's not a bad idea, which I don't think it's going to be. But then we also Prescott Unified School District is going to start next week to go ahead and be on a 4 day schooling. So this is huge. This is huge because one, it kind of makes us go back to normal. No, normal. I'm going to say normal in a
I
different.
was gonna say, is normal a thing?
And so this is a big deal. This is a big deal for everybody. Everybody has to get used to it. But you know what? Don't let your guard down. Don't freaking think that this is going to be forever because as we are seeing across the nation, that things are shutting back down, things are closing back down because of just the rise in COVID-19. But these are things that need to be discussed. You know, these numbers that are rising up and where they're coming from, where and how these numbers are being, placed in there. I mean, like for instance, how many times do you count a person if they test positive once? How many businesses are requiring the same person to go back and get the test done? How many times is Embry-Riddle students having to test themselves in order for them to go ahead and resume back to school? So
Annie says temporary normal.
temporary normal. And I wouldn't have to agree with her. That's exactly what it comes down to is a temporary normal. And that's not
And yeah, and Cecilia said she's making pumpkin bread. So I mean, that's a good normal for me.
pumpkin bread.
Yep, I like the pumpkin bread.
Yeah, I need some pumpkin bread.
Anyway, because it's still Pumpkin Day. Don't forget, today is National Pumpkin Day.
Yeah, but National Pumpkin Day. So, anyways, that's a big subject for today. Everybody, if you don't know about what's going on with your school, make sure you follow the Unified School District's pages, and also if you're not on their email list, get on their email list because this is information that you need to be a part of.
Things could change quickly. Like they
Very
could change day to day.
very quickly, and we're ready for it all. So we're glad that she gets to go back, meaning Kiki. We're glad that she gets to go back and experience school. It's a little bit different. I remember I went over there the other day to go pick up her schooling stuff because she had to miss a day, one of her 2 days, and I go out there and the kids are out in the playground with masks on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, man. I I had to put on a mask the other day because we were working at the Samaritan, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and obviously take care of my elderly folks right here, and put on my mask just in casers, and I couldn't breathe, man. I had to like step away, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I overbreathe. I think that's my problem. So anything that
It's
can,
called hyperventilating, I think, right?
yeah, man, it was hard. I ain't gonna lie, and it's just I don't know how the kids are doing it. I mean, it's something that they're getting trained to do, which is kind of weird, but at the same time, I guess it's all in the name of safety. So it's kind of weird to go ahead and talk about.
So, I mean, San Martin, Saturday is Halloween. Have you, I mean, it looks like most of the events down on Mount Vernon, down on Country Club, things like that in the core area of Prescott are going to be still a go. And then we've got that haunted house, which when is that? In Dewey.
That starts on Friday, but I get the all exclusive trial run on Thursday, so I can't forget that. It's at 5:30 p.m. I'm going to go live, and I'll put that up as an event, guys. So you guys could join me and watch this happen. If I don't do it live, I'm going to have to record it, and then I'll just
Oh,
repost.
you've got to do it live and have like a Blair Witch moment where your phone drops and you hear screaming, and then that's where the live feed cuts off.
Oh man, I need somebody to film right behind me. They need to follow me right, and I'm trying to find these takers, but nobody's out there that wants to go with me. They're like, "No, sorry, nope, can't do it. This is not going to happen." So I'm like, "Oh my god, here we go." Uh,
Well, good. And so, on other news here, real quick, let's talk about the city of Prescott has a voting session tomorrow. Not quite sure what it's about yet. Haven't had a chance to dig into it. But the fire up by Crown King, I heard it was like 73% contained. What's the news?
Yeah, well, we ended up getting word in yesterday saying that let me go ahead and say, uh, we ended up getting word in that the evacuation had been lifted for Crown King. Um, Residents only, though. That's the only thing that's allowed to go there. So if you guys are going in there, that's what has to happen. They've been keeping up with the actual updates on the Facebook Watch. I'll go ahead and post that here on the chat, so you guys could go ahead
Well,
and
and I
check.
saw your post earlier. Just because it's cooler weather, the fire ban has not been lifted.
Yeah, definitely. Yavapai County has stated that the actual fire ban is not going to be lifted. So just be on. It's just not going to happen. So that's what's happening. Don't start no fires in Yavapai County. It's not going to happen. The other thing is that if you guys want to go ahead and load up on some firewood, Pine Top Lakeside area is opening up their forest so they can help thin out the stuff. But there's a lot of fallen trees. I don't know if you've been up there, but it does not look like Prescott Forest at all. There's just timber after timber after timber, tree after tree after tree, just like knocked over. The ground floor is it looks like it's just hasn't been maintained at all. Which that's natural growth, But they're going to be doing timber sales up there, the Apache site graves, to enhance forest health and increase wildfire resilience near Pine Top Lakeside. So I think that you guys could go ahead and if you need some wood or whatever it may be, you could go up there and harvest this wood based off of what their needs are. So it's creating defensible space.
Okay, good.
That works
That's
out.
that's great. So what do you mean it doesn't look like the Prescott forest? Does it just mean that they've cleared it out more?
Yeah, if you actually drive, from our forest to closer to Pine Top Lakeside, you will acknowledge that the ground floor right next to the highway is just full of just fire stuff. If that makes any sense. So there's trees down. There's just dead growth, dead accumulation on the floor. So it's just like obviously a fire waiting to happen, and if it gets lit on fire, it's just going to be extended, and it's going to keep on going and going and going. So that's kind of what's happening over there. So yeah, that was what's happening out there. That's kind of cool.
It is good. That's good. So I mean, we're coming into the holiday season, and what other events do we have going on this week? I know we've got some guests that are slated to be on our show. I'm not going to say names until we're closer, but it's exciting, and they're talking about events that are coming up. So a lot of stuff's going on because San Martin, Prescott is Arizona's Christmas city.
Yes. And that's kind of what I was all happy for. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that because November is the month that we are getting into the Christmas holiday season. That's when all the deals start coming from our local small businesses. So if you're a small business out there, or you know of a small business that needs a little bit of attention, or they have some pretty cool things, email us, message us. We're getting so much information from our community. It's so amazing. Thank you guys for sending me all this information, and all the things that are happening on our small businesses. I like that because once again, if we have an opportunity, we could go ahead and have an opportunity to help out our local businesses and stuff. So that's kind of like the best time of year, and trying to get our business into a holiday season is another thing as well, because you're always trying to figure out how you can go ahead and help out the community. Toys for Tots is coming around, so there's a lot of things that are in need still. So if you guys have anything out there that you guys want to go ahead and talk about, let us know. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
In San Martin, I was talking to somebody who runs a nonprofit yesterday, and because of the craziness, everything. First of all, grants aren't happening right now, just because everybody's focused on COVID relief, and but people aren't donating because again, times are tough, and so as we come into the holiday seasons, there's a lot of great charities that need help. They need to put toys in hospitals. They need to put toys under Christmas trees. They still need help. They haven't stopped doing what they're doing. So I'm hoping that we get to talk more about that as we get closer. But let's put something aside for these people, and let's think about it, because it's going to be a harder year for people that generally need it. even more so. And it's going to be harder for other people to step up, but we still have to do it.
Yep, and that's what's happening right now. Like so, anyways, to kind of sum up what is happening this coming week, the White Spar is not going to be happening. The weather is going to be a little bit cold today, tomorrow, but best thing about it is that it's now fall winter time, and it's going to go back up, so we could have some nice days. But at the same time, winter's here, so make sure you do all your winterizing and get ready for it.
And it's that time. And I got to ask you, have you done the motion? And every year you turn on the heater and you got to smell all the dust burn out of them and go through that whole process. Oh, I hate that part of the season. But you got to do it.
That's the dust burning, man. That's the dust burning. Yeah, we've done it at the house, and we've done it over here at the salon. And yeah, I turned it on, and Cecily's like, "Is this supposed to smell like that?"
Yep.
She thought it was a dryer, and I thought it was a dryer too. I was like, I don't know. I guess dust is burning again. I don't know. And then I remember that I turned on the heater, and it was the actual heating and cooling system. So yeah, we've already done it. But the cool thing about it is they have these little inserts that you could put into the filter, and the choice of smell is the apple spice, apple spice. So
what about pumpkin?
No
pumpkin.
Yeah, no pumpkin. They have apple, so I chose the apple. So when you walk into the salon or whatever,
it smelled like an apple tree burning.
It instantaneous apple cider, man, apple cider, not a tree, cider. Smells good, but we're getting ready for the season, and that's the best part about it. So, anyways, with that being said, don't forget to go to the Prescott Times to go ahead and see all the news releases. We just released several stories this morning. A lot of them have to deal with what's going on in your town and your children and your people. So I'm telling you guys, if you guys don't know, you will not know, and you'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know." But that's the reason why we're here, so we can go ahead and inform you. And don't forget, this is happening every day. So if you guys don't see us talk about it in the morning, go to the page, because guess what? There's a lot more information going there. And if you want to follow first. You got to follow first in order for this to go ahead and not be effective for you. And when you do that, we are getting ready. And I know I was going to tell you guys because I wanted to show you guys, but the cards are here. And I don't know if they're coming today or tomorrow, but the cards are here. And I was trying to get the credit cards done, but I couldn't find a credit card that anyways, the cards are coming. They're going to be here. And guess what? It's going to be for the top fans and any fans that are out there for the Prescott Times. If you guys use the card, you're going to be able to get discounts at certain affiliated businesses locally here in Prescott, Arizona. So that's a huge deal, guys. It's a big deal for everybody. So there you go. And what else do I have to say? Yep, I don't know.
That should be it. Do your exit greeting. It's past time now.
Stay
warm. Add stay warm to it.
Oh, yeah. Peace, love, and happiness. And don't forget, love always wins. And make sure to stay warm, get your cuddles in, and make sure that you wear your long johns today because it's cold. It's cold outside.